Please welcome to the stage, Barnard President Leah Beilock.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for participating in what has been a remarkable reunion. I hope for those of you who haven't been back in a while, you really see the changes that have been made on campus. We have the Milstein Center for Teaching and Learning behind us, which has become really the center of campus. If that's not all, we are next week breaking ground on our new Lefrak Center for Wellbeing, where we're very excited at the center of campus, where we will have state-of-the-art facilities for physical, mental, and financial well-being for our students. Barnard is really a leader in this space. It's so exciting. And next year, we're going to break ground on remodeling and renovating Allschule, and it will become the Roy and Diana Vagelos Science Center. It's going to be the first all-electric science building in the country. So you can see by the physical environment how well Barnard's doing, but I hope you all see through your friendships and coming together how well Barnard's doing in terms of the students it produces and our alumni and your support for the school. Our students come here because they see how amazing our alums are, and our students and the students that are here have never been more impressive. In case you don't know, Barnard had almost 12,000 applications for just over 600 spots this year. We had an acceptance rate of 6.5%, making us one of the most selective institutions in the country. Barnard has never been stronger, and young women from across the world want to be here. Simply put, because of the women and the students that have come before them. So it is fitting tonight that I get to introduce the Women of Achievement Award, which was established in 1979 under the auspices of the AABC Reunion Committee. It is given to honor and acknowledge the recipient's excellence and achievement in her career and her dedication and contribution to the quality of life and the improvement of society. It is one of the highest honors the AABC bestows. This year's Women of Achievement Award goes to Jamie Babbitt. She has directed several feature films and executive produced and directed multiple award-winning television shows. Jamie began her career as Martin Scorsese's intern on the film The Age of Innocence. Her debut film, But I'm a Cheerleader, is now widely considered a seminal queer film. In fact, The Independent named it as one of the top 20 romantic comedies of all time. Her second feature film, called The Itty Bitty Titty Committee, won the Grand Jury Prize at the South by Southwest Film Festival, and her short film, Stuck, won a jury prize at the Sundance Film Festival. Jamie's television credits include directing episodes of A League of Their Own, HBO's Girls, Silicon Valley, Gilmore Girls, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Russian Doll, and Only Murders in the Building, for which she received an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Directing for a Comedy Series. On a personal note, it's the only show, Only Murders in a Building, that my 12-year-old will watch with me, so I'm forever grateful. Jamie has been profiled in the New York Times, Out Magazine, Time Out, the Los Angeles Times, and Vanity Fair, among other outlets. She was a Centennial Scholar here at Barnard, where she graduated in 1993. Originally from Shaker Heights, Ohio, she currently lives in Los Angeles with her girlfriend and 2 daughters. One of her daughters, Finley Sperling, just finished her first year at Barnard. I'm so happy to welcome Jamie to the stage to receive this award. Jamie, will you please come up? Congratulations, Jamie.
I love it. Let's take a picture.
You can put it right.
Thank you. Wow. Better than an Academy Award. Esteemed Barnard alumni, guests, friends, and all the tag-alongs, I am absolutely thrilled to accept this Women of Achievement Award, and I have to say, it's about time someone recognized my achievements. I mean, I've been waiting for this moment since birth, so thank you, Barnard College. But in all seriousness, I am deeply honored to receive this award, especially among so many incredible women who have done so many amazing things. I feel like I'm on stage with Joan Rivers, Martha Stewart, Zora Neale Hurston all at once, and that's a pretty great feeling. As a writer and filmmaker, I've always been drawn to the power of storytelling to create change. I mean, who needs a therapist when you can just make a movie? But the truth is, it's not always easy to tell stories that challenge the status quo, especially when the status quo is so damn comfortable. But I truly believe that when we tell stories that reflect the diversity of our world and amplify the voices of those who are often silenced, we create a more just and equitable society. Stories have the ability to change hearts and minds, to challenge misconceptions, and to inspire action. And if that doesn't work, we can always just start a dance party. I mean, who doesn't love a good dance party? And Twyla Tharp, our Barnard alum, I'm sure understands my backup plan. But my passion for storytelling and dance parties did not begin with my career in film and television. It began while I was a student here at Barnard. Barnard provided me with a unique space to find my voice, to explore my interests, and connect with a community of like-minded, badass women. It was at Barnard that I first discovered my love of storytelling, and it was through the support and guidance of my professors, shout out to Professor Chris Baswell, who still teaches here, and the late Barbara Stoller Miller, and Barnard and Columbia peers that I was able to pursue my passion. Barnard prepared me for my life's work, not only by providing a strong academic foundation and some great film internships, but also by instilling in me a sense of purpose and responsibility. I learned that my work could have a meaningful impact on the world around me, and I was encouraged here to use my voice to affect change. This ethos has stayed with me throughout my career and has driven me to tell stories that matter. As I look back on my journey, I am grateful for the lessons I have learned along the way, and I would like to share a few of those lessons with you today. Firstly, I've learned that it's essential to be true to yourself. It's very tempting to try and fit into the mold of what others expect of you, but true fulfillment comes from embracing your unique perspective. And as a queer woman from the Midwest, as a child of a therapist, and a daughter of a civil rights activist, this background has informed me every step of the way. Secondly, I have learned that success is not a solo endeavor. It takes a support team to achieve your goals, and it's important to surround yourself with people who support and uplift you. Finally, I have learned that progress takes time and perseverance. The road to meaningful change is very long and winding, but it's worth the journey. In closing, I want to thank Barnard College and Sean and all of you for this incredible honor and providing me with a foundation to pursue my passions and for instilling in me a sense of purpose and responsibility. And to all the women out there who are trying to make a difference, keep pushing, keep fighting, and keep dancing. We got this. Thank you.
They'll have it for you. Congratulations again, Jamie. Now please join me in welcoming to the stage Amy Veltman, class of 1989, president of the Alumni Association for Barnard College, and she will present the Young Alumna Award.
Hi, everyone. It's me again. Amy Veltman, class of 1989, Barnard trustee and president of the Alumni Association of Barnard College. It's bittersweet to get up here knowing that this is our closing program, and this is my last time doing this as AABC president. But our next president, Suji Park, I'm wishing her all the luck and great stuff in the world and look forward to seeing what you're going to do in this role. I hope you all had as much fun as I did during this jam-packed reunion weekend. We had an incredible schedule of events on campus and around New York City this weekend, not to mention joint events with Columbia and events that took place both in person and online. We raised glasses to toast Barnard and each other, gained insights into history, reproductive rights and justice, and what it's like to work in entertainment and how Barnard influences that journey. We celebrated the diversity of our community at the Alumni of Color dinner, We heard from the classes of 1973 and 98 about what a difference 25 years makes. We marked 30 years of the Writing Fellows Program and had the joyful experience of meeting Barnard's next president, Laura Rosenberry. Woo. Now we are here to present the final AABC Award of the year. As a reminder, each year the AABC bestows 5 awards upon select alumni celebrating milestone anniversaries. This year's selection process began back in the fall when members of our alumni community submitted nominations and ended with a thorough review and selection process led by Mary Rosenberg, class of 1978, and the AABC Awards Committee. A quick shout out to Mary, who is very bummed out that she can't be here tonight, but really for the best of reasons, she's helping her daughter take care of a new grandchild. And so I know she wishes she could be 2 places at once, but we haven't figured that one out yet. So far this weekend, we have honored all but one of our AABC Award winners. You just heard from Jamie Babbitt, class of 93, parent, class of 26, and recipient of the Woman of Achievement Award. We also recognized yesterday Linda Sweet, class of 1963, recipient of the Award for Service to Barnard, Gabriella Carifa Johnson, class of 2013, and Jessica Cannon, class of 2003, both recipients of the Millicent Carey McIntosh Award for Feminism, and our 3 recipients of the Distinguished Alumna Award, Lisa Najovitz and Naomi Goldberg-Haas, both of the class of 1983. Sure, more applause, good. And Kathleen Drowan, class of 1988. Now, I'm delighted to introduce the 2023 recipient of the Young Alumna Award. First presented in 2002, the Young Alumna Award honors a graduate of the past 15 years who has already shown outstanding achievement in their field of interest. This year's recipient of the Young Alumna Award is Aditi Somani, class of 2018. Aditi, this is just the first round of applause that you're going to be experiencing. She stood apart even as a student at Barnard when she was involved in various campus organizations, was an Athena Scholar, and outside of Barnard, served as a member of the junior board of the Global Fund for Widows and helped to start Brava Investments, a fund focused on women investors. After receiving her BA in economics, she began a career as an investment banker at JP Morgan. But after the 2016 election, she was so moved to action that she made the extraordinary decision to leave a career in finance and focus instead on changing the world through politics and government. She served on the paid media team of the Biden for President campaign, and after the 2020 election, she served in the White House on President Biden's Oval Office team. Aditi then moved to the U.S. Department of the Treasury, where she is now the special assistant to the first ever counselor for racial equity. The counselor's office is responsible for advancing racial equity through the Treasury's programs, research, and operations, including implementation of the historic Inflation Reduction Act. Among Aditi's most recent accomplishments, she planned and executed the 2022 Freedmen's Bank Forum, an annual gathering of private and public sector leaders to discuss ways to grow the economic potential of communities of color. Aditi is a native New Yorker from Queens and a proud daughter of Indian immigrants. Aditi, the passion you have for elevating women and your commitment to your values are truly inspirational. You are a wonderful role model for the Barnard community, and you embody the best of Barnard. Please join me on stage to receive the 2023 Young Alumna Award. Congratulations, really so impressive. Thank you. Thank you. Isn't it nice? Do you want me to hold it for you while you? Okay, there it is. Oh wait, we're supposed to get a picture. I forgot. No, you hold it, but I can't be holding it. I have 1-0. Thank you, Sadie.
Thank you, Amy. First, I want to thank President Beilock. President Beilock, congratulations on a remarkable tenure at Barnard. I'm tremendously grateful to have been a student under your exemplary leadership, and I wish you all the best as you embark on a new chapter at Dartmouth. I also want to thank Karen Sendler and the Alumni Relations team, my fellow classmates and alumni, and of course, my friends and family. I am so humbled and honored to be accepting this year's Young Alumna Award. But I want to be clear, going to Barnard was never part of my plan. In fact, I remember being a junior in high school and laughing off my mom's ludicrous suggestions to consider a women's college or college in New York City. For context, I grew up in New York City. But that has been the overarching theme of my life. Nothing has gone according to plan. Growing up as a child of immigrants, low income, first generation, having lost a parent, the dream life I imagined for myself was defined by 2 measures of success: educational attainment and financial stability. I dreamt of having enough money in the bank to never worry about a rainy day, to lead a life of ease and dignity, to talk about big ideas at the dinner table, like current events and politics, instead of the price of a gallon of milk at Stop and Shop versus the local mom and pop grocery store. But all of that changed at Barnard. I was surrounded by women who reinvented my idea of who I wanted to be and what I wanted out of my life. The Barnard women I met were outspoken and creative, unafraid to try new things and look stupid while doing them. They asked good questions and gently challenged my assumptions. They cared about the world and the people in it. They stood up for what was right. They held space for one another and taught me how to do the same. They were crazy enough to think they could change the world. But more importantly, they took themselves seriously enough to know they one day would. Without even realizing it, I became one of them. In May 2018, I walked out of Barnard's gates with a plan: finish 2 years of investment banking, get an MBA, become an investor, live in a nice house, and travel the world. But my Barnard sensibilities got the best of me. Not even a few weeks into my JP Morgan analyst program, Brett Kavanaugh was given a lifetime appointment on the Supreme Court. I was devastated. Looking around at work, it seemed I was the only one. That's when it dawned on me. I wasn't cut out for a career in corporate finance. The final straw came in the summer of 2020, days after the murders of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, and in the midst of the biggest protests for racial justice and civil rights in a generation. The head of my JP Morgan group gathered our team on a conference call to talk about what was happening. I decided to speak up. I called on my colleagues to put their money where their mouths were by donating to the Black Lives Matter movement and utilizing JP Morgan's 3-to-1 corporate match. I implored them to not let their commitment to racial justice be fleeting with the news cycle. My comments were met with silence, and then a quick, "Thanks, Aditi, for reminding us about the corporate match." I was disappointed and fired up. I missed spending my time doing and thinking about things that actually mattered, alongside like-minded peers. I missed holding space for survivors of sexual assault and violence at Take Back the Night. reimagining K-12 education at the Columbia Design Studio, researching the sociological impacts of parliamentary gender quotas in my Women in Economic Development seminar, and raising money to empower widows through skills-based training and microfinance at the Global Fund for Widows. These were all things I did at Barnard, things that my new career did not afford me the time to do. So I quit. With the encouragement of my Barnard friends, the connections of my Barnard friends of friends, the sponsorship of my Barnard mentor, who couldn't be here today, and the support of my mom and sister, I joined the Biden campaign. A few months later, when we won the 2020 general election, I took a huge pay cut and joined President Biden's Oval Office team. I stood on the White House South Lawn and listened to Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson say, "In my family, it took just one generation to go from segregation to the Supreme Court of the United States." I listened to a glass ceiling shatter. It was momentous. And a few weeks after that, I became the first full-time staffer to the first ever Counselor for Racial Equity at the U.S. Department of the Treasury. I am living a life that is far more enriching and exciting than what little Aditi even knew she could dream, let alone have. I recognize that I am privileged to have been able to take the risks I did, but I hope what you will take from this is a commitment to living by your values, trusting your instincts, saying yes to more opportunities, and not being too tethered to what you think you want. The most memorable chapters of your life may well be written on the other side of your scrapped plans. Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Aditi. Okay, she is 5 years out of Barnard. 5 years out of Barnard. Delving into systemic change, I mean, that was mind-blowing. That was really impressive. Congratulations to you and your family and friends. And now I invite all of you to enjoy your dinner, great company, and we'll be back during dessert to share a couple reunion updates. Thanks.